Hi, this is Greg. I'm the owner of Grand Teton Harley Davidson in Idaho Falls, Idaho. I'm going to give you your first look at Harley Davidson's Phase 1 launch of their 2023 models, including their 120th anniversary models. And stay tuned on some speculation about what might be next this year in terms of new model releases, but we'll give you what we know now. So Harley Davidson was started in 1903. That makes this anniversary their 120th anniversary. They've got a lot of exciting apparel and parts and accessories, but the most exciting part of one of their anniversary years is their motorcycles and the colorways that they attach to motorcycles and some of the limited editions that they come out with. This year, the color they're centering on is Heirloom Red. The 120th anniversary Heirloom Red is going to be available on the following models: the Fat Boy, Heritage Classic, Street Glide Special, Ultra Limited, the Road Glide Special, and the Tri Glide Ultra. And with the anniversary edition, along with the Heirloom Red paint job, it's going to have a few little Easter eggs on it with some nice stitching and some special badging as well. The first anniversary edition was in 1954 to celebrate Harley's 50th anniversary, and it seems like they're heralding back with the current badging on the 120th anniversary models to that 50th anniversary edition with something substantial from a badging perspective on these Heirloom Red models. Along with these inline models with the Heirloom Red available as a paint option, Harley has announced that they're going to release a CVO Road Glide Limited with additional paint features and Easter eggs on it, limited to 1,500 models globally. I was a little bit surprised that Harley Davidson didn't limit all of the models like they did with the 115th anniversary edition models. They have said that there is more to come, including additional CVO releases that should be out in the weeks ahead. You know, 120 years is longer than any other motorcycle company out there, and to commemorate the 120th anniversary, they are reaching back into their archives, into their heritage, to come out with some really cool general merchandise, you know, different jackets, pins, hats, those types of things, as well as parts and accessories for these anniversary edition motorcycles that they've released. So Harley Davidson knows how to commemorate a big anniversary like this with a party. So July 13th through 16th this year, there's going to be a coming home party in Milwaukee, all sorts of events, bands, you know, things at the Harley Davidson Museum to engage in. More details on that coming soon. We are actually going ourselves, so watch for a video in July, August timeframe this year. If you're looking for something fun to do this summer, Milwaukee is a great place to visit, and there'll be a lot going on for the 120th anniversary celebration that Harley Davidson's putting on. So moving beyond the 120th anniversary and the models and apparel and parts that are associated with that, Harley did announce some new models this year, including bringing back the Breakout. Now for you Breakout fans, you'll remember that the Breakout was released in 2013 and it was discontinued in the US in 2020. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be excited to have this model back. Used prices had gone through the roof because there's so many people that really like the Breakout, and Harley's made some great enhancements to that model. So in 2013, when the CVO Breakout was announced, it came with a 110 engine and then was available over time with a 103. Now the 103 model had about 95 pound-feet of torque and 75-ish horsepower, and a 3-gallon tank, which really limited range. The new Breakout has a 5-gallon tank and the 117 motor that had only been available previous to last year when it showed up in the ST models or on the CVO models. And the 117 model has 123 pound-feet of torque with 107 horsepower. So this is a huge upgrade for those Breakout fans that were doing performance modifications and having to put additional dollars into their bike to bring it up to a performance spec. Harley's giving you a great baseline to make the Breakout model to customize and make your own with the performance upgrades straight from the factory. And along with that, the Breakout now has all the modern things that you'd expect: ABS, traction control, and cruise control. So the Breakout has been one of my favorite models. I'm glad to see it come back into the lineup. We had a lot of demand for used Breakout models, like I'd mentioned, and it's great to see Harley embrace this model again and have a street drag style bike that now you can stretch a little bit longer with that expanded fuel tank. Next up, it's not a new motorcycle, but it is a variation on a motorcycle that was released last year, and that's the Nightster 975S. It has some nice little upgrades to the standard Nightster, including wheels. It looks like some different handlebars. More details coming on that model here soon. Now, I haven't seen official numbers on how the Nightster has actually sold. Availability was pretty limited last year just due to ongoing supply chain issues. The S does have passenger pegs and a pylon, so a few extra additions to the standard Nightster. I've ridden the motorcycle fairly extensively. It's a little bit small for my frame. I stand at 6'5", but it's been a great bike to put people that are getting introduced to motorcycles on, And with that 975 engine, it gives somebody room to grow in terms of the riding style and the performance above like the old Iron 883 or even the 1200cc Sportster models of years past. Before we get to my speculation on what might be in store still for 2023, we do have to mention that Harley did release a Road Glide trike, so you have a fixed fairing on a trike, and the freewheeler now gets a blacked out look. For those that are into the trike lifestyle, there's a few more options now from Harley Davidson. So I'll give you my easiest speculations first, and that's on the CVOs. Harley Davidson did say in their release video today that more CVOs are coming. Now, whether they do that in the 120th anniversary kind of setup, we don't know. CVOs are limited, but they don't have a limited badge on them typically. I would expect that they'll probably do an ultra limited. There's usually a street glide and a road glide CVO that's done. And in some years, like we mentioned earlier, they have done a breakout and they have done a Road King even. But in recent years, it's pretty much been ultra limited, street glide, road glide, and a road glide limited. So we've seen the road glide limited, more to come. Now the last 2 years, Harley has released an Icon collection bike that has been limited. They started with an Electra Glide as a tribute to the 1969 Electra Glide. Last year, they did the Diablo Lowrider ST. It's kind of a late release in the year. I'd really like to see Harley do something like a tribute to the old Knucklehead. But what do you think they're gonna do from an Icon perspective? Please leave your comments below on what you'd like to see them do. So probably the biggest thing that I think is maybe a mystery at this stage, and maybe some of us expected, including myself, for Harley to maybe talk about this in their 2023 update today, was what are they going to be doing with the Revolution Max engine and what other applications is it going to have specifically around the 975 engine. There's been a lot of rumblings that that engine is going to find its way into another adventure motorcycle. If you've seen our channel, you know that we're really into adventure motorcycle riding. It's a fast growing segment. I would expect that Harley Davidson has an entrance in that market at a lower displacement. Now, whether that's a 975 or some other variation, I would expect that that bike to be competitive needs to be at least 100 pounds lighter than the current Pan America, and we'll see if Harley can produce on that front. I'm not sure how they'd be able to shave enough weight off of the current Pan America just by putting a 975 engine into that frame to get to that kind of weight savings that I think a lot of people are after. But we'll see. I would expect, I don't have any inside knowledge about this, but I would expect that we'd see another bike in the adventure motorcycle category. So I've got to talk about it as well. It has been a bit of a leprechaun in the community. Is Harley Davidson going to do something with the Bronx? Now, there were images of a prototype of a Bronx that were released a few years ago prior to 2019. It's a Street Fighter style motorcycle. Now that the Rev Max engine is out in production, one has to speculate that Harley is going to do something in that category of motorcycle as well that's more of a performance motorcycle that speaks to a different type of rider out there. I personally love Street Fighter type motorcycles. There's been rumblings that there's been some additional naming rights and patents that kind of applied for globally. Who knows? We'll see. Again, leave us your comments about whether you'd like to see the Bronx or not, and if you have any speculation about whether that motorcycle or others are going to be released this year. Well, if you're out in Idaho Falls at the base of Grand Teton National Park or Yellowstone National Park, make sure you come see us at Grand Teton, Harley Davidson. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff around the 120th anniversary. Like I said, we're going to be going to the rally ourselves as well. If you like this content, please make sure you like and subscribe. Follow for more content that we plan to produce throughout the year celebrating Harley Davidson's 120th anniversary.